Welcome back. I am going to show you how to determine which stereoisomer is going to be the major product in an E2 reaction. So according to Zaitsev's rule, the more substituted alkene is the major product, but that doesn't help us determine which of these two stereoisomers is actually going to be the major product. This is our 2-bromobutene. We need a hydrogen that is either syn or anti to our leaving group of bromine. Let me draw a Newman projection of this as it is currently drawn, looking from here. So, this is an extremely stable conformation. When we talk about stabilities of conformations, we don't really care about the hydrogen in the leaving group. What we care about are those big bulky groups that want to be as far apart from each other as they can be. In this case, these CH3 groups. And these CH3 groups are 180 degrees apart from each other. But the reason that this conformation can undergo an E2 reaction is because we have a bromine and a hydrogen that are anti-periplanar. That means 180 degrees apart in this Newman projection. But there is a different conformation that is also going to have an anti-periplanar hydrogen. I want to draw that Newman projection too. So it's going to be looking in the same direction. I'm going to keep the carbon in the front the same, but I'm going to rotate this carbon in the back to the other staggered conformation that is also going to be able to react. So here too, we do have anti-periplanar bromine and hydrogen, 180 degrees apart. But what do you think about the stabilities of this versus this? These two CH3 groups are a lot closer together. They're only 60 degrees apart instead of 180 degrees apart. This is a less stable conformation. That means that if we are comparing these two, it is going to be more likely that the E2 mechanism will use this hydrogen compared to this one. In other words, one of these hydrogens is more likely. And think about which of these isomers would result from this particular anti-periplanar hydrogen being used rather than this one. These methyl groups are anti-periplanar, 180 degrees apart. That is going to lead to this being our major product. And here, once again, this can react. This is a valid conformation, but it is less stable because of the steric hindrance of these two CH3 groups. It can still react, but when it does, these are closer together. These are going to end up being on the same side. This is going to be the minor of these two products. Now, you might be thinking that I should have drawn more Newman projections of more conformations, because there are conformations in which we can rotate this carbon-carbon bond and have syn periplanar hydrogens to this bromine. But you know what? Those are even less stable than this. The syn periplanar Newman projections, you would see the groups completely overlapping and being eclipsed, and this bond freely rotates. It's not going to want to spend much of its time at all in an eclipsed conformation. So in a state like this, when this bond can freely rotate, you have my permission to ignore the eclipsed conformations and the syn periplanar hydrogens when you are trying to figure out what the major product is. Now, if there's some reason in the structure that this bond cannot freely rotate, you don't want to take that shortcut in figuring out what the major product is, but here, go ahead. So if you are in a situation where E2 is less likely to occur or can't occur, you we'll want to consider if some other reaction mechanism is going to occur instead. Thanks for watching Chemistry in a Nutshell. If you feel that I've earned it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel.